Hey, what's up, everyone? Yesterday afternoon, I was watching YouTube, and there's a station called the creator is Peter Von Panda, and he does a lot of different kinds of equipment reviews, everything from tech stuff to kind of like prepping things, and a little bit of everything. If you haven't checked out his station, Peter Von Panda, definitely check it out. It does a great job. So he had this little gizmo in front of me. This is made by Heleman, and is a portable door lock. I was intrigued. So basically, what I'm going to do is kind of show you some basics about this thing. Then I'm going to tell you why I picked it up, because I have locks on my doors. But anyway, so you end up getting this red part, the metal part, and they also give you a little black bag. It's really advertised as something you could take with you for traveling purposes. Let's say you go to a hotel, you want a little extra security, you pop this on the door, and it'll keep you safer. Now, I purchased this at Amazon. I will have the link in the description for you. Just so you know, this is the same one that he recommended. There are a lot of knockoffs. If you go on Amazon, there's 101 things that look like this, but they're from different companies. They might be just as good, they might be better. I don't know. But with that said, I wanted the one he used because it looked effective. And just in case you're wondering, I believe the price on this was $6.86. So it's really not something you have to think about too much. Now, the way this works is you take this metal piece right here, and there's one end down here for a deadbolt, and then this part here goes where the doorknob is. So you can use either one. I personally only use this one because it was most relevant to my needs. And basically what you do, insert the claws into the door lock, close the door, and it'll be held in position. Insert the moving rod into the butterfly hole and then jam it down, and install the red device as shown. So basically what you want to do is, it's kind of like a wedge with the smaller pointier edge down. I did this on 5 doors in my home, and I'm sorry about that, I just kind of shook the stand. I did this on 5 doors in my home. It worked on 4 of them. And the reason it didn't work on the 5th one is because when the door was installed, they didn't really chisel out. They chiseled out enough for the door to shut properly, but not enough for these claws to fit. As you can see how they are, they kind of protrude a little bit, and this was a little wider than the opening. So again, the way this would work is the opening in the door. Let's say the opening is here and the door is on this side. You would pop this into the opening in the door frame. Then you'd get this thing right here, and this has a pin that moves up and down, as you can tell. And you would just kind of put it in just like this, slide it down, and it wedges against your door. So when someone tries to open the door, they're hitting this and they're pushing it against. Oh, sorry about that. They're pushing it against this this steel plate right here. Now, it seems to work pretty well. And like I said, it worked on 4 out of 5 doors, and if I wanted it to work on the other door, to be honest with you, it would take me about 4 minutes with a chisel, and I can make it work. And it wouldn't affect the way the door operates. Now, a few things here. I know some people would say, well, that's not going to stop someone who's really motivated, and I totally agree with you. Now, they say this is steel. I don't know that for a fact. It could be some low quality metal. They say it's steel, so I'll say, okay, it's steel. As far as this plastic coating goes, my hope is that the steel takes most of this, and this red plastic is just a coating, and that this isn't just a little piece of metal here. If it's the case that this is actually a steel unit that is just covered a little bit with the red plastic, just not to mar your door, I think that's awesome. I don't know. Okay? Now, it works as designed. I will say that. I was actually prepared to take it back if it didn't work. It works. Now, some of you might say that's not going to stop a motivated individual. You are totally correct. But it will do a few things. Let's say that person who, because this is marketed to people who travel, let's say you're someone who travels a lot, which I do not, popping this in your hotel door, someone who wants kind of quick access, they're going to open your door. If they say like they found your key card or something, they're not going to be able to open it. They're probably not going to want to stick around and make a big fuss to get in. They're going to leave. So it works beautifully in that situation. Now, let's say you have some lunatic trying to, I don't know, break into your bedroom or something, or your house door or your office door, and you put this gadget on your door. If you got a strong person trying to ram the door completely, it might give way. My guess is that it would give way. But between the time the person starts to, kick the door down or do whatever they're going to do, it might buy you a few seconds. And I don't know about you, but I think a lot of people in that situation would appreciate having an extra 10 or 12 seconds to either call 911 or to load up their rifle. So, if I were in a situation where I thought someone was going to try and do harm to me, I'd want to put as much time as possible. And like I said, those seconds are very, very valuable in that situation. Like I said, whether it be calling for 911 or getting your firearm in hand and ready. Like with my wife and I always tell her if something were to happen, first job you do, you call 911. You tell the people 911 we have someone breaking in the house, someone's in the house, and that we are armed. Because we're both going to be ready. Because I would want, and roughly what part of the house we're in, and basically keep the line open. Because like I told her, if someone's trying to come in with a weapon and they mean harm, basically what I'm going to be doing is say, get away, I'm armed, get away, leave. This way it's there and recorded for them to hear that I'm giving multiple warnings. This person's still advancing or trying to break the door open. And then, like I said, if you are able to get something like this on your door, it does take a few seconds to install. I would say it took me after doing it about 5 times, I could probably get it on the door in maybe 3 or 4 seconds, 5 seconds. But of course, I wasn't under duress. If I had some lunatic trying to come into the house and I'm trying to put this on my bedroom door, let's say, might take it might take me a little bit longer. So that's something to remember. But the real reason why I want this is because at work lately, they have been putting on a lot of, they're pretending they care about safety where I work. Notice the word pretend. So what they've done is we went from having 1 or 2 security guards to having 2 or 3 security guards. They have a police officer on duty. Unfortunately, a couple of police officers do an excellent job with security. They seem very attentive and they really seem to notice things and do a good job. A couple other people are just kind of slouched over on a chair in the corner. A couple of the security guards don't seem like they're in the best physical condition, so I don't know how much they can do. And the other thing is none of them are armed. I don't even think they have pepper spray. So that's one thing. I can also not carry at work. If somebody finds out that I carry at work, I don't have a job anymore. So one thing that we were looking at was ways to block doors. So I have an office. My office does not have a lock. Again, they kind of pay lip service to the whole safety issue. They want the window dressing. So we were talking about ways to block doors, and one person had seen, we have the kind of doors that have the handles. They don't have knobs, they have handles. And they were looking at ways to block it, like with chairs. And one of the doors we have, because it's kind of like a push door. I'm sorry, it's a pull door. So they would have to, pull it, and they saw how you could wedge the leg of a chair in there to stop them from opening it and stuff. So this is something I'm really curious to try at work tomorrow to see if it does block the door at all. Because we all have most of us have windows in our office. So again, this is something that could buy you maybe 5 or 10 seconds so you can get out a window. The other thing is maybe it's something where people just try doors and they move on. So it is something that I think has usefulness. Now, like I said, on the strength side, I think it will definitely buy you some time in the right circumstance. It's very cheap, and which is good, and it's pretty easy to use. Bad side, I think if someone really wants to get you, they're going to get you, especially if you don't have a regular lock on your door. But I do think it's worth a look. And like I said, I'm going to put the link in my description to this little doohickey because, like I said, there's a lot of them, and this is the one that I've had some experience with. The other thing that I think is pretty cool, and I noticed this afterwards, is there's 2 holes drilled here. There's one on this end near the deadbolt, and then there's one here that would go near the knob. So if you need to use the deadbolt end, you could just pull this off and put it here. Like I said, with me, I'm going to be using this end right here. So, and I assume most people are. So, that's what I'm using. Now, this chain here, just in case you're wondering, it is an absolutely, totally, completely flimsy chain. Fortunately, this has nothing to do with the performance of the item. Really, most of the performance has to do with this and this right here. And these seem good. This seems like it probably is steel, to be honest with you. This I'm not totally sure about, but hopefully it is. And then, like I said, you just kind of, drop it in here, and then you wedge it against the door just like that. And, it seems like seems useful. So, definitely good if you travel a lot and you want something like that. If you have an office without a lock on the door, you might want something like that. Or, maybe you want to keep one in your bedroom just just in case of something. But just wanted to bring this to you because I had never heard of this thing, and I wanted to check it out and see how useful it was, and if it was worth the money. And I absolutely, definitely think it is worth $6.86. So, with that said, go check it out, at the very least, to get some information. So, have a good one. I'll talk to you later.